Nick at the Long Haul Fitness, Prep Series Episode 3. This one is going to touch on my current nutrition, what the prep diet looks like right now. We are 5 weeks out today, so the diet doesn't always look exactly like this, but it has been some form of this for the last like 2 years since I've been working with Chris. I haven't really touched on nutrition that much in this series yet. I talked about my pre-workout in the very first video we did, but I haven't gone into full depth on everything yet. So I figured I would come to you guys with this. I'm basically going to go over everything that I ingest on a daily basis. So that goes over food as well as drinks and my supplements around training. I'm not going to go into my health supplements and stuff. I may do that in a future video, but I'm going to stick to like the supplements around my workout that focus on the muscle building, helping out with nutrients and all that kind of stuff. So we'll start at the beginning in the morning. I wake up really early because I usually have a 5 or 6 a.m. client. So I'm up at 4 every morning. The first thing I'm going to have is some coffee. 4 Sigmatic mushroom coffee. Sorry, there is a fly and it's going to drive me nuts. I guess we're just going to deal with it. But so if you see me doing this, I'm trying to keep them away from the food. So 4 Sigmatic mushroom coffee has been my go-to recently because I was having some IBS-like issues with regular coffee. The amount of caffeine, I think, was just really irritating my stomach. Something about the acidity of the beans and stuff. This sits really well with me, and then the thing that I really like is that with the mushroom coffee, it's got lion's mane in there that helps with focus. So it really helps me get alert and ready to go in the morning for my clients and then for my training. Caffeine right now is what's getting me through my day. So gotta have the coffee to start off with. And then some mineral water. The first thing I'll drink in the morning is a Topo Chico. Sometimes I'll put some Mio in there. Sometimes I'll drink it just straight. But the purpose of the mineral water is to get minerals in, get the electrolytes and stuff that I need, and also kind of get my bowels moving. As I start to get lower calorie, I start to have issues with digestion and regularity, to leave it PG. So with something like that, it kind of helps wake my stomach up, keeps everything in balance so that everything can move through a little bit better. Once I'm at the gym, like I said, I have a 5, 6, usually a 7 a.m. I usually have anywhere from 2 to 5 back to back. So breakfast tends to not be till like between 7 and 8:30, just depending on like kind of what the morning looks like, how many clients I have, when I'm able to do cardio, that kind of thing. I prefer to do fasted cardio, so I try to fit it into my schedule where I can do the fasted cardio and then get the food. At this point in prep, there will be times where if I'm doing fasted or like post-workout cardio, my food is so low I'll start to go really hypo. So if it's going to be a long time before I'm able, if I can't get on to do cardio until like 9 because of a client or something like that, I'll eat before and then I'll go do cardio. So like I don't want to have that hypo feeling. Like it's not a great feeling. You feel terrible. To me, something in my sadistic, messed up head makes me feel like I am burning more body fat when I get to that point, but it's not a great feeling, right? So it's not something I want on a regular basis. So just kind of depending on how I feel, how hungry I am at the time. I may do fasted, I may do not fasted cardio, but the first meal of the day is oatmeal. Oatmeal and blueberries. We've got 67 grams of traditional whole cut or whole grain oats, 67 grams, and then 50 grams of blueberries. And then I put some Labrado Hydro, there it is, some Labrado Hydro in that for my protein, and then a little bit of almond butter. So it's 10 grams right now. I was doing peanut butter, but I wasn't necessarily having issues with peanuts, but it can be an irritant. So I'm trying to remove everything possible that could irritate my stomach. So I switched over to almond butter just because. So it's 10 grams there. That's my breakfast. I'll usually have it between 7 and 8:30 a.m. I'll wake up at 4 and just kind of deal with the hunger or whatever that I have. By the time I'm done with all my clients, it's usually about 11 o'clock. Then it's time to have my pre-workout meal, which I've already gone over with you guys before. It hasn't changed since that video, which has been very nice for me, but the pre-workout meal is cream of rice. So I've got 52 grams of cream of rice. It's a pretty sad little Tupperware sitting here. But put enough water in it, and it kind of fluffs up a little bit, and then adding in some protein powder to it as well will kind of help fluff it up too. So with the pre-workout meal, I have the 52 grams of cream of rice, Labrada Hydro, almond butter again, 10 grams, and then my favorite part of the day, 200 grams of strawberries. Usually I do the cut strawberries, the already pre-sliced frozen strawberries, but this store was out of them. Now all they had was the whole ones, but it kind of works out because it fits in my Tupperware better. So that's my my pre-workout meal. I'll let that digest. Again, depending on my schedule and when I have clients and whatnot, sometimes I'll eat it before my 10 a.m. client, let it digest for that hour, and then I'll go straight into training. Just so that there's plenty of time. If I don't have that client, eat it at 10, maybe start training 30 minutes later. It doesn't take that long for this meal to digest, so I don't need to wait an hour, hour and a half. Like I would prefer not to, because by the time an hour and a half passed, I'm gonna be hungry, because it's not very filling. There's not a lot of fats, there's not a lot of food there, period. Post-workout, after training, I get to have part of my favorite part of the day, some Cheerios. I'm still doing those, and some more Labrada Hydro. I do 2 scoops of the Labrada Hydro post-workout with 57 grams of Cheerios, because that gets me 45 grams of carbs from low-fat cereal. That's my post-workout. Again, so not a lot of food right now is being ingested, so it's not like these meals take a long time for me to eat. I was having some issues with going hypo during cardio post-workout, so I was like slamming the Cheerios and then slamming my meal right after. But ideally, what I would want to do is eat the Cheerios, the protein powder, drive home, which is about a 25-minute, 30-minute drive, depending on traffic, and then eat my next meal. But I had to move my cardio around to do stairs fasted and then treadmill post-workout, because that's when I was starting to go hypo, because the last thing I had was the cream of rice, and that shit's out of my system by then. I skipped over the intro, so I'm just going to take one step back. Before the post-workout meal, or the post-workout snack, it's not actually included as a meal, so I have 5 meals a day and then this post-workout meal that doesn't necessarily count. But I have the Labrada Pro Series Intra during my workout, which has 25 grams of carbs from cyclic dextrin. It's not going to be a huge impact on overall calories because of the way it's designed. It's designed to get into the system quickly, like get in, get out. You may have to pull it if you aren't looking the way you need to as you get closer to a show. But I'm on the right track, so it gets to stay in. Post-workout meal, so I had the post-workout snack, right? Now I'm having the post-workout meal. So what that is I'm super lazy when it comes to veggies. I hate cooking veggies, especially cooking them ahead of time, because they get like just this weird consistency, weird flavors. So I've been doing like baby greens, like salad mixes and stuff. I put that on the bottom first, so I put that down at the bottom. Then post-workout, I like to do rice just because of the way it sits in my stomach. Right now, I only get 80 grams of rice. So it's a sad little bowl of 80 grams of basmati rice. I like the basmati because it tends to sit in the refrigerator a little bit better than the jasmine. The jasmine wants to get clumped up, and I don't like the clumpiness. It gets like a weird consistency in my mouth, and I'm not a fan. And then chicken breast. This is air-fried chicken breast. There's nothing on that, and I'll just put some sauces on there. Lately, I've been going for like different variations of mustard. Dijon spicy brown and horseradish mustard recently have been like the go-tos, and regular yellow mustard. And then some hot sauces. I'm trying to not have any condiments that have extra calories in them right now as we start to close in on the show. So mustard or hot sauce or some variation of the sort on that. Then 3 hours later, I'll have the next meal. So all of these meals are typically spaced out anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 hours. Again, depending on the schedule, first part of the day. Second part of the day is usually pretty straightforward. I have a meal at like between 7:30 and 8, that first one. The second one will be around 10 to 11. Then it's usually 2, 5, and then 7:30. It goes pretty simple once I'm done with the in-person work that I have to do. That next meal that'll happen about 5 p.m. is more chicken, more of that salad mix, and this time I'm going with potatoes. He gives me the option to do potatoes instead of rice. I don't want to do potatoes all the time, because if I do potatoes all the time, I could potentially end up having some digestive issues. When I introduced them, I started having a little bit more gas, a little bit of bloating, but once my system's gotten used to it, it's settled down a lot. So no more issues there, but I think if I was doing multiple meals of potatoes a day, it might start to be an issue. But I get a little bit more potato, so I like to go with that. I get 110 grams of potato versus the 80 grams of basmati rice. It's a little bit more filling, and the potato tends to kind of hang with you a little bit longer. And then this chicken is the special chicken. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I got a smoker for Father's Day, and the chicken has been amazing out of that. So it's been a nice little treat for me in prep, having the smoker. You know, it gives me an extra little flavor, gives me something to look forward to during the day that it isn't the same thing all the time. So nice little treat without it really being a treat. The last meal of the day, he has taken my carbs from me. So the only carbs that I get in this meal are vegetables. So again, more of the baby green mix, so more salad mix. I've got some shredded lettuce in there. Shredded lettuce is pretty nutrientless. I mean, it's basically just water, but it's there to add volume. So this meal kind of fills me up a little bit. It fills me up. Then I have mushrooms, banana peppers. Sometimes I'll throw in pickles as well. I'm trying to watch too much sodium, so I have just been doing banana peppers recently just because I love banana peppers. Some sweet onions, and then I'll usually throw some mustard on that one to make it like a burger bowl type thing. Sometimes I'll throw some ketchup on there, but again, like I said, I've been trying to get the calorie condiments out because we're trying to get lean. Can't have that with the bullshit in. So this, other two things that help me get through the day. I live off of like flavored drinks. So diet soda, I try to limit, but I do have them. Some people are super concerned about aspartame and the chemicals that are in there when it comes to doing a prep and what it can do to your gut microbiome and yada, yada, yada. That's up to you. If you think it's going to mess with you that much, then don't do it. If you have it and you notice a big difference in what happens to your look, like if you start to look terrible after you've had a diet soda, okay, maybe you shouldn't have it. Maybe there's something in there that is giving you an issue. If it's not giving you an issue, just like the intro, if it's not messing with how you look, that's not that big a deal. I wouldn't drink those all day long. I wouldn't have 3, 4, 5 of them. If you abuse it, it could definitely be a problem. But to have a little bit of aspartame once a day, once every other day, something like that, not that big a deal. And then these things are a godsend. Bubbly, the flavored seltzer water, which love them or hate them, it seems to be. But I love these things. It's just enough flavor to kind of curb my sweet tooth, so I'm not thinking about something sweet all day. Same with like the Dr. Pepper. I'm a Dr. Pepper fan. I've been drinking Dr. Pepper since I was young. I would drink like a 12-pack a day when I was a kid, like the regular Dr. Pepper. But I try to stay away from sugar and stuff now, so I'll go with the diet regardless of the season. So whether it's off season or not even worried about a show, I'm going diet just because I'll get calories elsewhere. But this is a full day, so this is all of my nutrition. As far as macros, I don't know. Chris doesn't give them to me, and I don't care enough to put it into MyFitnessPal. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And I tell this to my clients all the time. Like, if it's working and the numbers aren't exactly what the science says or what this thing over here says you should be at, is it going to freak you out? Are you going to be like, oh, we're off because this thing over here says I should be at this amount of food, but we're eating this much? It's like, if it's working, it's working. So, I have no idea what protein and carb and fat content is. I know it's all low. Protein has stayed pretty consistent. This is a training day, so the only difference between training and rest days for me are Thursdays and Sundays. I have set rest days. I don't like the rotating schedule. It makes my life a lot harder when things rotate constantly. So I like to stick to a set schedule where Thursday and Sunday are my days off. So on rest days, I'm not doing the cream of rice. I'm going to do an extra meal of the chicken and rice, or chicken and potatoes. And then the last two meals both have carbs removed. So still the same beef. It's actually elk. We've had elk for a little bit and I've been using that, and it is fantastic. So on training days, I have 195 grams of elk in that, and then all the veggies that I talked about. On rest days, I have 170. Then the last chicken meal has the carbs removed, so there's no potatoes or anything like that. I basically do the same thing as the elk salad over here, just with chicken. And there's some olive oil added to that. Both of these meals on training days have 2 milliliters of olive oil added as well. Extra virgin olive oil, forgot to mention that. So I'll do 2 meals of the chicken and rice, or chicken and rice and chicken and potato. And then the last 2 meals have no carbs in them. The breakfast meal is 45 grams of oatmeal and no blueberries. So the blueberries are gone, oatmeal's reduced, same amount of almond butter, same amount of protein powder. And then carbs on the first, so meal 1, 2, and 3 are all the same on training and rest days. Where it changes is meal 4 and 5. So obviously on a rest day, I don't have the post-workout snack as much as I would love to chew down on a bowl of cereal every day. I don't get that on non-training days, but everything else is part of the plan. So no carbs in the last 2 meals on non-training days, and then the first 3 meals of the day are the same except for the breakfast. But this is everything that I consume on a daily basis as far as drinks and food. If you have questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. As always, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Leave a comment down below. The more you guys comment and tell me what you want to see, the more content I'll be able to put out and get you guys some more sweet free things. Thanks, guys.